And welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and in today's tutorial you're going to work on the Valentine heart coasters together. In this particular pattern, I love this pattern. It's so simple, it's so much fun, and you're learning new stitches at the same time. Yes, 6 years into my career as Mikey, I am still learning new stitches. I just learned this reverse single crochet as of yesterday. See this edging? Isn't that just fabulous? It looks amazing. So the creativity is up to you. You can either keep the colors the same on your heart as it shows in the photograph, or you can change it up a little bit if you wish. So this today I'm using Red Heart Gumdrop. I love the name of this yarn. All of the yarn colors within this line here are named after fruit, and why not have something that's really kind of sweet, just like you see. So in today's tutorial, because I've used the gumdrop, it's thinner than Super Saver, so I downgraded my hook from an H or a 5mm to a size G, and it's a 4.5mm instead. So without further ado, let me tell you a little more about this, and then let's get started. To quickly review this pattern, you should know that this pattern is working as a miter square first. So for example, we're going to start off in the bottom and we're going to go boom 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 boom, work our way up through the rows to the point where it's going to look like a diamond shape, just like so. Then we're going to start hump 1 and finish hump 1, and then we're going to do hump 2, and then what we're going to do is go around the edging twice. Now in this tutorial on the hump 2, when I came back around, I just kind of eyed it up, and this is one of those projects you can either count your stitches as you come back around, or you can use your creative influence in order to make it perfect as well. So let's begin this tutorial right now. So let's begin. I want you to leave a little bit of an extra long tail because we're going to use that with the darning needle to secure it in. Let's create a slip knot, and as per the instructions it says row 1, let's put this on, it says to chain 2. So let's do this. So we're going to chain 2, and then it says single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Well, the second chain from the hook is the original right at the beginning. So what we're going to be doing is just coming in, and we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook, which is the starting one. We are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then single crochet again into that. So there is the very base of your heart. Now it says as per the instructions to place a stitch marker right in the middle. If you're a good crocheter like me, you don't need to. You can identify what those stitches are, but if you're just starting out, you may want to put a stitch marker right in the middle one so that you always are aware of where your middle of your miter is. So let's begin row number 2 next. So in row number 2 it said to chain 1 and turn. So I've already done the turn, so I'm just going to do the chain 1 now. It doesn't really matter if you chained 1 before the turn or 1 after. So it says to single crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the marked chain 2 space. So the marked chain 2 space is the center of your miter. So let's begin, and we are going to single crochet into the very one. It's the very one just right underneath. And so we have one single crochet down this side, and that matters because I'm going to explain that in a bit. Where our next one now is in the center, this is the chain 2 space, so always in the chain 2 space we're going to single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet, and so that would have been where you marked it if you did. And then this side there's only one single crochet going down this side, and that's it. So you have to remember that you had one on this side, then your middle, and then one on this side. So as we move up through the rows, the number of single crochets changes between the time that you start and the middle section, and then the middle to the end. And as long as you can remember that, your heart will always be in balance. So let's move along to row number 3 next. So in row number 3 we're going to turn our work, and we're going to chain up 1. So here we go. So we chained up 1, and remember the last one we had 1 single crochet and then we hit the corner. This time we're going to end up having 2. So every time you go to turn there will be an additional single crochet added to the side. So we had 2 there, then we're in the middle with the miter, and we're going to single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet in, and so we had 2 coming down this side. That means that there's 2 left on this side. So that was row number 3. Very easy. So here's a tip for you. As I explained, I have tips. I always got tips. So right in the very beginning I write down in my instructions 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what happens that I remembered is that in row number 3 we had 2 single crochets then the corner. In row number 4 there will be 3 single crochets and then the corner. So the way that I remember this is that when I see the number 3 here, I'll remember that it's one less. So there's gonna be 2 single crochets then the corner. So when I get to 4, I'm gonna remember that there's gonna be 3 single crochets then the corner. So it's always one less than the number, and if you can remember that, this will help you to speed along in the process. So I want you to complete rows number 4 to 10, and I'm gonna take on 4 right now. So let's just review that one more time. We're gonna turn our work. So we're going to turn our work and we're gonna chain 1. So this time if this is row number 4, judging by my theory, is that there's gonna be one less than the number 4. So there's gonna be 3 single crochets. So 1 and 2 and 3. Just like so. And now we're on the chain 2 space in the very corner, and we single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet. And knowing that we're on number 4, that means that there should be 3 left here, 1, 2 and 3, which there is. So complete rows number 5 all the way to 10 on your own, and when we come back we're gonna start doing the first hump that completes the one side of the heart. So I'll meet you back in just a moment. So we're ready to begin, and I've just finished off row number 10, and there should be 9 single crochets then the corner and then 9 on the other side. So let's turn our work, and it says to single crochet. So you notice it did not say to chain 1 first. So we immediately just single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So we just start right away, and this is starting the first hump. So 1, 2 and 3. So now what it's asking us for is skip the next 2 stitches, so 1 and 2, go to the 3rd and put in 5 double crochet into that one. So we're starting to raise up for the one hump going over top. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 4 and 5. Says skip the next 2 stitches and then single crochet into the next 2 stitches and then single crochet into the chain 2 space. So 1 and 2, and we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then it said to single crochet into the chain 2 space. Right, so we're right into the back of the center. So there you can see that it's starting to raise up. So let's turn our work one more time. This is the last time that you'll be going over. This will complete the hump really. This is how fast this project really is. So now that we turned our work, it says to skip the next 3 stitches and then 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches, 3 double crochets into the next, and then 2 double crochets into the next 2. So here's my tip for you. So the way to look at it is that you have 5 stitches that are going over this shell. So if you remember it, even if you miscount right here, the first stitch is gonna have 2, the next one is gonna have 2, the middle one will have 3, the next one will have 2, and the final one will have 2. And so even if you lose count, and hopefully you didn't, that is a way to be able to gauge it. So we've skipped over our 2 stitches. The next one is gonna have 2 double crochets, which will be the first one of the shell. The next one will have 2 double crochets, just like so. The next one is the middle, so this one will have 3 double crochet. Very easy. And now we're coming down the other side of the hump, and we're gonna have 2 double crochet in this one, and then the final one is gonna have 2 double crochet as well. And so it now says skip the next 2 stitches and slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off. So you've skipped the next 2, the next one is the very end, which is where we're gonna slip stitch and begin to fasten off. So fasten this off, and when we come back we're gonna be starting at the center of this here and work our way that way. So let's be right back, fasten this off, and we will weave in all the tails at the end of this project. So we're about to begin again, and I'm just grabbing my new yarn, and if you look at the instructions it says with the right side facing, how do you know which side is right? Well, we're always crocheting in this direction, right? Going that way. So if and it says to join at the the marked chain 2 space, which is right in the center. So if I turn it like this and I go this way, I'm gonna go right over that next hump. So we automatically know that I have to turn it around and join it right here, right into that chain 2 space, right where the other one is joining, just like there. So that is a great way to be able to indicate what side that you're going. So let's begin. We are going to be doing almost identical to what we did on the other side. The difference is that when we started the other side is that we came from the outside going in. This time we are going from the inside out, therefore the stitch is just changed slightly. So here let's begin right now. So it says to join with the slip stitch, which we did, single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So we are going to join with the slip stitch right there and single crochet into the next 2. So we're just going to single crochet into the next 2. Perfect. So now, and if you remember the last time when we did that, we actually single crocheted 3 times. So that's what the difference is. So it says to 5 double crochet into the next stitch. So it says skip 2 stitches and then 5 double crochets into the next. So we're just gonna skip and then 5. So here is the center once again. Sometimes when you say things out loud it's just not the same thing as on paper, so do bear with me here. It's totally worth this project in the end. And so there we go, we have our 5 in, and it says skip the next 2 stitches, single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So when we started the last time, we started off with 3 stitches in a row before doing this. This time we're doing it at the end. So we're skipping 2, and then you see how I'm just putting down this straggler? I'm just trapping it into position. So we're essentially just single crocheting to the final 3 stitches after we skip our 2. And so now this is almost ready to go. Let's turn our work and we're gonna finish off this side of the heart. So let's turn and begin the next side. So as per the instructions, it says to repeat row 2 from the first hump. So exactly what we've already done before is what is going to happen this time. So let's begin. We look back up into row 2. It says turn, skip 3 stitches. Again, the same rule exists. We're going to be in this shell here, and it's asking you to put 2 double crochet, 2 double crochet. The middle one's going to have 3, and it's going to have 2, 2, and etc. So let's begin. So just you can count over, or just look for the first stitch that's in the shell and put 2 double crochets in. The next one is going to have 2. And so then the top of the shell, which is the third one of it, is going to have 3. So that is your complete, going right over the top of the heart, just like so. And so then the next 2 on the shell are going to each have 2 crochets in, just like so. And so now we're just gonna slip stitch it. I could read the instructions, but what you have to just do is slip stitch it to the middle marker spot again, just like that. So that is how you would complete. So the heart is almost done at this point. We just have to put a border on it and call this tutorial quits for today. Okay, to begin the edging, this is where we left off, and I want you to turn your work around. So we're gonna go over this hump the other way. So there's a lot of writing, and it's very, very simple to follow. So it says as per the instructions, we're gonna skip the slip stitches where we join, and we immediately just come into the first one that's available. And it says to 2 single crochets into the next single crochet. So we're gonna put 2 there, and then it says the next 2 single crochets will be by themselves. And we want to repeat that again twice. So then it's going to be 1 and 2 into the same, and then the next 2 are by themselves, just like you see. So now it's saying then is 1 single crochet or 2 single crochets into the next, and now we are going to go all the way down from this area all the way down to the point, just 1 single crochet each. So let me get over the hump area here. See, you have to grow your humps evenly. You have to grow them evenly or you're gonna be in trouble. So this is a way of growing it without making it look all distorted. So when you're coming down to the sides that you see, because you have single crocheted up, every line is gonna get 1 in the side. See how easy that is to be able to find them? So just working your way all the way down So I bet you, I guess you bet, I bet you know what to do when you get to the bottom. We're going to be turning a right 90-degree angle, or in the case of left. So when you get all the way to the bottom, we just want to make sure we get enough even stitches there. If you rush this process, it's going to be all distorted on you. So when you get to the bottom, you'll just see one string, and you will single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that bottom piece, and then we come back up the other side, and we just work our way evenly all the way back up. Now this row here is the only row that you really do have to pay attention to your stitches. The next row, which is your final, is that you're not adding any stitches, you're just doing a nice finishing trim. So this round here, if you mess up on your stitch counts, it really doesn't matter too much, because you can pretty well fake it on the next one. And that's my tip for you. So we're just working our way all the way up across, and once you get up there, you'll run back into your stitches into the top area there. And once you get just partially a way around, again you're going to put in your 2 single crochets in and work the same process. Now did you hear me counting stitches? I didn't. I just eyeing it up. I know that's kind of bad, but it is kind of what it is, and it does work out as long as you know what you're looking for. So 1 and 2. Yep. And then again like so. So I'm making sure I'm coming all the way back to the center point like so, and now it's up to us now to do the second row of the heart. Now this is a really interesting stitch. I just learned this stitch actually yesterday on another project, and I'm so surprised to be seeing it again because I really loved it yesterday. So let me show you how to do the final row. You're going to really love this. So just be right back. You are now about to do a reverse single crochet. This is a lot of fun. This is also known as the crab stitch from what I learned yesterday as well. So let's begin. We're gonna just chain up 1. So we've always crochet and we always go forward, right? This time this is a reverse, and what we're doing is that we're gonna come backward. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to stick your hook into the chain or to the stitch underneath, pull the yarn like so, and we're pulling it forward and then pull through like this. So now that was the first one. So now we go into the next stitch. So we're coming backwards. So we're moving in the direction that you don't normally come in. And what you want to do is grab the yarn and pull it through for a single crochet. So let's do that again. We're just going to grab from the back and you're pulling it forward. So back, pulling it forward. So you're doing a single crochet. So you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't see what's going on here. And the difference is that you end up with these beautiful rope-like structures on the perimeter. So I'm just moving in the backward, pulling it forward, pulling through. You see that? And so usually people like to whip stitch things at the end of the borders to create this look that I'm showing you here. And what this is doing is it's creating a thicker double edge and making it really quite brilliant, if you ask me. So what you want to do is you want to go all the way around in doing the same procedure, and then at the bottom, when you come to the bottom, is that you just want to just follow it along and then come all the way back to the beginning. So carry on doing that. We'll meet you back up and finalize this tutorial off for today. So now that I've come all the way back around, I just want to do a slip stitch, but you know what I'm gonna do first is that I'm gonna trim this off, and I'm gonna use my darning needle to pull everything together. So this is just kind of my cheating technique here. I'm just pulling this out, and so when I sew it and pull this together, I'm just gonna pull it together through my sewing needle. So what I want to do here, this is how you will fasten off so that you have the perfect, especially if you're using these for coasters, you're really going to want to hide the edges that or the tails that will fall out. So what we want to do is that I want to reach over to the other section to pull it over first like so, and now I want to start hiding in my ends. So I'm just going to slip underneath the stitches. Okay, so it's not on either side, it's just underneath, and I'm going to go in one direction, and you're going to do this for all of them, for all of the tails that you have hanging out. You're going to come into the similar area, not the same, and just weave yourself going in the opposite direction, coming back, Okay, and then you're gonna go back in the third for the third time, and you're gonna do that in order to hide in your loose ends, and this will never fall out, just like so. So you can see that this beautiful reverse edging creates an amazing look, and it's absolutely spectacular. And you could also change your yarn color, it doesn't have to be the same, and basically you would have a great heart. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com. Stay tuned for more free patterns and ideas, and until next time, we'll see you.